My dad controls half of the results of all the big terms that he wants attention for. Metabolism, weight loss systems, etc. A lot of different things. Why? Because he planted his flag on that digital world. That is his little piece of the online world. And because of that, he's going to be here for generations to come with that particular position and accumulating power. If you go back to the Wild Wild West, you know that there was a lot of battles going on, right? Territorial battles. There were people fighting for land. And a lot of the money that we have today, a lot of the old money comes from those battles in which people claimed physical land. They planted flags in the actual world. In the United States, they had territories that were acres and acres long that some families captured and claimed. And this has built wealth for ages and ages and ages. They captured land. What makes social media and the internet world different? It is the exact same phenomena, but on the online world. We have the ability right now to capture digital land. And if you become a personal brand, that is the surest way of you yourself becoming a very, very powerful member of the online world and planting your flag in the digital age. Example would be if you go right now, for example, and you go to YouTube and you search for metabolismo in Spanish, you're going to see that probably half of the results on that first page of YouTube are my dad's videos. Imagine that. The greatest video platform on the planet. The second biggest search engine on the planet after Google themselves. My dad controls half of the results of all the big terms that he wants attention for. Metabolism, weight loss systems, etc. A lot of different things. Why? Because he planted his flag on that digital world. That is his little piece of the online world. And because of that, he's going to be here for generations to come with that particular position and accumulating power. The same thing you can do for Dr. Berg. You go to Dr. Berg, you go to YouTube, and you search for ketogenic diet. You're going to see the positioning that Dr. Berg has on the ketogenic diet. He planted that flag a few years ago. And that's the beauty of this online world. You can find a subject, you can talk about it consistently, you can get aggressive, you can do articles, you can do podcasts, you can do videos, and you can do it for a lot of times, consistently, without thinking about how many people are watching your videos or thinking about how many people are visiting your website. You know how many times I've actually posted articles on ManuelSuarez.com and I don't even know what's happening there? You just got to do it. Remember, when you post something on social media, whether that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whether that's your blog, it stays there forever. It stays there forever. Somebody can come back 10 years from now and find how you talked 10 years ago. It stays there for always. And you can go back and check it as many times as you want. So the digital footprint carries with you throughout years and years and years. And the more that you put out there, the better you get results and more attention along the way. So it all happens with time. So what I want you to do, I want you to actually figure out what your message is going to be about. How are you going to help somebody else? What information do you have of value that can actually be fed to somebody else and somebody else can use it? If you are a real estate expert, well, why don't you educate people on buying properties in up and down markets, in buyers markets or sellers markets? Why don't you provide education and make yourself known as an actual real estate expert? If you're a consultant, why don't you teach people tips about building a business and establishing an organization? If you're a tax accountant, well, why don't you give them information about deadlines and ways to avoid taxes and do things legally, etc. If you are an e-commerce beauty brand, why don't you figure out how to do natural beauty and give people tips and education on how to improve their health naturally, how to improve their skin health naturally? You can do that, and you can do that a lot, and you can do a lot of articles. I can give you a very hot resource that I've used in the past and I've recommended many, many times before. And if you are running out of ideas or you have no clue how to communicate something to the world, how to give something of value, if you don't really understand what you could do to help somebody else and become a personal brand, well, you can go to a place called answerthepublic.com, answerthepublic.com, and you can check there and search for your niche market, and it's going to give you hundreds, if not thousands of ideas of things that you can talk about around that subject. And that's going to get you going. Now, it does take courage. It does take work. And believe it or not, I'm about to get on stage on the 15th of September. In 9 days, I'm going to get on stage in front of 2,000 people. That is a little scary, don't you think so? Heck yeah. The biggest stage that I've had in my life so far has been 500 people in a Vegas event. And that was really, really damn scary. Now, you might be asking yourself, wait a second, Manuel, you don't seem like an introvert. It doesn't matter. It's actually freaky sometimes, especially when you have all those people staring at you and looking at you and you know they're paying attention. It is. And you get butterflies. And that's all part of it. So I can tell you that the process of becoming a personal brand, it gets easier, but the nervousness doesn't go away. You just got to push through and press that button and go. Like right now, for example, today before I hit the podcast, I forced myself to be like, you know what? I got to do a podcast. I have people that listen to my podcast every week. I have thousands of people that are actually consuming the content. I have a responsibility to help them get more information, and I got to do it. So let's go. Let's press play. And that's the process of becoming a personal brand. You simply got to push yourself and get it done every single time. And if you do that, eventually it will get easier with time, and you will see yourself getting more and more attention. Don't worry about the video watchers. Don't worry about the website visitors. Don't worry about any of that stuff. The one thing that I want you to keep in mind also is that first year of being a content creator, that first year of producing content, videos, articles, images, graphics, podcasts, whatever, that first year is all about you. You got to make yourself comfortable with yourself. You got to feel that you're capable of doing that, and you got to develop your own skill and your own voice along the way. If you go back to my first podcast, you will see the difference between the way that I address you now and the way that I addressed you before at that point. You might even laugh a little bit about it. So if you want to have that experiment and check that out, that might be a very fun experiment for you. Go back to the beginning podcast that I ever had. It was actually called The Power of Marketing. It was not called the Facebook Marketing Ninja Podcast. But you'll see the difference in how you develop your own skill as a speaker, as an individual, as a personal brand. But it's all about, again, boils down to you having a conviction that your information is going to make somebody else better. And you know that down the line, that's going to increase your chances of earning that person's business. You're trying to get to a position in which you earned the right to sell them something. And if you did not provide value to them enough, you have not earned that right. The social media world today requires that you nurture people by providing value first before you offer them things. And if you do this, and if you do this consistently and aggressively, I promise you, you will eventually win if you persist. Only if you persist. Some of you guys are going to be great, and you're going to make there faster. Some of you guys are going to need to work out at it some more, and you're going to take longer. But regardless, becoming a personal brand is a sure way for you to be able to get there and get there faster. If you don't feel like doing it yourself, make sure you understand that you got to get it done regardless. So bring somebody else in to help you get it done for you and become the personal brand for your business. I cannot possibly overestimate the importance of building a personal brand around your business so you can get more attention, get more trust, stop skepticism, and make people trust you along the way more and more. So now you can help them with your products and services and earn their business along the way. All right?